Om Namaste to all. Today also we are going to see a very interesting and important topic for us to understand. As I tell in all the videos, whatever knowledge I have gained in my life is only due to my Guruji Swami Ram Swarup Ji Yogacharya. He is Ashtanga Yogi, a philosopher of Vedas and a living legend. He lives in Himachal Pradesh. Now let's go to our topic of today.
मनुष्य नहीं वे प्रभु वाणी है, आओ लौट चलें उस देश जहाँ मुनि वेद सुनाते हैं.
I'm sure you will be amazed to understand the gloriousness, the vastness, the depthness of our Sanatan Vedic religion. The base of our Sanatan Vedic religion is the four Vedas. The four Vedas are Rig, Yajur, Sam and Atharva Veda. Vedas means knowledge. It is derived from the Sanskrit Vid Dhatu, which means knowledge. Actually, Vedas are undesired divine knowledge of Almighty God emanating inside the heart of a yogi or a rishi. That is why we have to always listen this knowledge from a rishi who is alive on this earth. That is why Vedas are also called as Shruti. Vedas are unwritten knowledge. They are eternal. They were not revealed, or they will not be revealed in the form of books. The printed books of Vedas are called as Samhitas. Rig Veda speaks about knowledge of science. It contains knowledge of matters like sun, moon, air, body, earth, etc., etc. Unlimited knowledge of all the universe of matter is available in Rig Veda. Yajurveda gives knowledge about the deeds and duties to be performed by men, by women, students, leaders, king, businessmen, agriculturalists, etc., etc. Samveda gives knowledge on how to worship God, because God is the one who gives us peace and long happy life. Samveda also describes about yoga philosophy. It also describes about qualities, supreme deeds and nature of God. Atharvaveda also speaks details about God, and also it has medical science and details of medicine in it. Now let's understand the other texts, because Vedas are not written by anyone. It is called as Apaurushya Jnanam. It is revealed direct from Almighty God. But to understand Vedas, for people who are not yet attained the peace of mind, attained the God, Rishi Munis have written several texts in order to explain what is there in Vedas. First, let us understand Upaveda. There are 5 Upavedas. Upavedas are actually the auxiliary themes of Vedas. That is, as I explained previously, what is the theme of each of the Vedas. So Upaveda gives us the details. Upaveda, the first Upaveda is Arthaveda. The Arthaveda speaks about social, economic and political systems. And we would have heard about the famous Arthashastra compiled by Chanakya Rishi. So Arthashastra also is part of Arthaveda, we could say, because Arthashastra is not written only by Chanakya Rishi. It is a compiled knowledge of various Rishi Munis who had lived before Chanakya Rishi. Then Shilpa Veda, engineering knowledge, architectural knowledge, arts knowledge, all this compilation, all this knowledge are part of Shilpa Veda. According to Shukra Niti, there are around 64 arts that are prominent, mentioned in Shukra Niti. Then Dhanurveda. Dhanurveda is the Upaveda which explains the spiritual sciences like Purushartha, the deeds and duties to be done by every human being. And also it contains the material sciences like civil, military defense, war, politics, etc. We can see this Upaveda, Dhanurveda, the subject is vastly also described in Ramayana and Mahabharata. The usage of this Upaveda, Dhanurveda is mentioned there. Next comes the Gandharva Veda. Gandharva Veda is the science of music. It is derived from Samaveda basically. And there are Vedic chandas which you will see in the Vedangas. which helps in composing the music. The knowledge of music is given by God himself in Samaveda. So Gandharva Veda speaks about the music or the music science. Then Ayurveda. Ayurveda is very popular today. It is related to the secret of life, the science of long living life. It has got medicinal knowledge in that. The famous books what we know is Charak Samhita, Sushruta Samhita, etc. are part of Ayurveda. Then let's understand what is there in Veda Angas. To understand Vedas in detail, Rishi Munis prescribed these 6 limbs of Vedas, because when we study these 6 limbs of Vedas through Gurukul system, we will be able to correctly interpret Ved mantras. Actually, the yogi who has realized Almighty God is the only person as per Vedas to explain what is there in Vedas. So normally Rishi Munis have composed or comprised with, or compiled this kind of systems so that they can give the knowledge to their Shishyas. The first one is Shiksha. Shiksha is basically the science of articulation and pronunciation. Like it is related to sound, it is related to letters, pronunciation of the letters of the mantras, etc. Every Veda has its own peculiar pronunciation of certain letters, and this has to be learned from an Acharya who is alive. There are various Rishi Munis who has worked on Shiksha Grantha, and the Vedic knowledge, if you know, only 5000 years back Vyas Muni wrote the Vedas in Bhojpatra. Before that it was always remembered by way of recitation, by way of chanting. This all is because of the knowledge of Shiksha. Next is Kalpa. The Kalpa is again speaking about the Karma Kanda, the deeds or the, let's say, the prescribed acts and rituals to be performed by the human being in its life. So that is mentioned in Kalpa Shastra, and that is why it is called as Kalpa. Next comes the main portion, which is Vyakaran. This is Sanskrit grammar text. Vyakaran is actually, we can say, is the mouth among the Vedangas. The most celebrated author of Vyakaran is Panini Muni today. He had written this Ashtadhyaya, the grammar, Sanskrit grammar book, very famous book. And he has discussed both Vedic and non-Vedic words in this. And one of the greatest commentaries of Vyakaran is written by Patanjali Rishi in his book called Mahabhashya. It is closely connected with Shiksha and also connected with Chanda, which you will see in the next. Sanskrit grammar is essential part to understand the Veda mantras and Sanskrit texts. Next comes the Nigantu, Nirukta, written by Yask Muni. Nirukta is actually a kind of commentary on Nigantu. The book name is Nigantu, which is a collection of difficult words of Vedas. This is also giving very deep knowledge, because Yask Muni has indeed, because of his Samadhi power, indeed taken out meanings of very difficult words of Vedas, and very useful to understand and interpret Ved mantras exactly. Then comes to the Chand. Chand is actually is a poetic meter. The Chandas, what we call today. Like example, there are primarily 7 Chandas in the Vedas. There are many Chandas, but primary Chandas are 7, namely like Gayatri Chanda, Brihati Chanda, Anushtup Chanda, Pankti Chanda, Trishtup Chanda, Jagati Chanda, Ushnik Chanda, etc. And the Chanda, the famous Acharya who wrote about Chanda, or who gave lot of knowledge about Chanda, is Pingalacharya. He is very much famous, known in the Vedic society. And Chanda is also used by great Rishi Munis to compose music and sing Veda mantras by using the Chanda knowledge. Then comes the final one, Jyotish. Jyotish is not the palmistry or horoscope which we widely know today. This is against Vedas. The Jyotish Shastra mentioned in Vedas is about astronomy and astrophysics. Vedas contain, as I told earlier, Rig Veda contains vast knowledge of science and matters of universe. So it is essential part that we understand the Jyotish Shastra inside the Vedas. Actually, for you to easily understand, all this knowledge can be learned very easily when we go to the feet of a master who has realized Almighty God. He will teach his Shishya in a very easy manner, even without we knowing that we are studying Chanda, we are studying Jyotish Shastra, we are studying some book. He will give that knowledge because Vedas, he has realized Jivatma, and Almighty God is inside him. So he will teach us all this very easily. But of course, it is also in Gurukul system in the earlier times, it is also the duty of the Shishyas to serve the master as well as do Purusharat, do hard effort to learn and understand the Vedic knowledge. Next one is coming to Shaka. There were, as per the Mahabhashya written by Patanjali Rishi, there are 1127 Shakas. There were at this point of time. Now only 16 could be recovered today. But it doesn't mean that Vedas are lost. These are Shakas. Shakas means branches in translation. But these are books authored by each Rishi Munis to preserve the Vedas, to preserve some knowledge about Vedas. These are not Vedas, these are branches of Vedas. So there is, India was under the rule of various rulers across last several thousand years, and many of the books have been burnt or stolen by people, and some of the books may be available in Europe today, we don't know. But only 16 are available today as a Shakas. Next comes the Brahmanas. Brahmanas actually, Vedas in its very pure form is not understood by any person other than the rishis who have attained Samadhi. So some Rishi Munis wrote secret texts, secret meanings of these Veda mantras, which are called as Brahmanas. As you can see, we have 3 Brahmanas of Rigveda: Aitra Brahmana, Shankaya and Brahmana, and Kaustiki Brahmana. This is based on Rigveda. Actually, Aitra Brahmana, if you read Aitra Brahmana, the authentic translation written by any Acharya of today times, you will know that Aitra Brahmana has got several scientific subjects which is not even thought about any modern scientist. I'm saying about any scientist to the level of Einstein or even Stephen Hawking. They cannot even imagine the amount of scientific knowledge available in this kind of books. Then comes the Shatpatha Brahmana, which is based on Yajurveda. Then Tandya Brahmana based on Samveda, and Gopatha Brahmana based on Atharva Veda. This actually, a Brahmana is a book, the Brahman we call as Brahman is a book which tells the meaning of Ved mantras and its technical use. Then comes the Sutra Granthas. The following are the Sutra Granthas. I think I will not read the names. You can see the 10 Sutra Granthas here. This also contains lot of information, lot of Ashirvad, lot of blessings, and many of the Sutra Granthas are used in doing Vedic Sanskars by Rishi Munis. And there are so many deep secrets, both scientific as well as medical science, as well as for day-to-day living life. So many advices have been written by Rishi Munis in the Sutra Granthas. Then comes the Smriti. Smritis are books of social, economic and political laws, which are actually changeable from time to time. So Smritis have been composed by scholars from time to time. It is believed that more than 250 Smritis have been existed in India, but only 50 plus around 56, 57 are traceable. The most prominent one, as we know, is Manusmriti. Manusmriti is absolutely Vedic and does not contain any against the law, against the Vedas here. But over the period of time, there were immoral insertions into Manusmriti. There is a book called Vishuddha Manusmriti, which is giving us the knowledge of which are the immoral insertions done by Mughals and or Britishers, etc. in that Manusmriti. So if you want to understand the real Manusmriti, you need to read that book. And also Yajnavalkya Smriti is also famous today. Then comes the Darshan Shastras. There are 6 Darshan Shastras. Each Darshan Shastra speaks about one subject, written by great Rishi Munis again. Mimamsa Shastra by Rishi Jamini. This speaks about the science of morals. The concept of Darshana is actually Dharma. And also the detail about Yajna sacrifice, the sacrifice in the pious Vedi. The duties and non-duties of mankind, etc. are described in Mimamsa Shastra by Jamini Rishi. Then comes the Vaisheshik Shastra. I would say a science of metaphysics as well. And Vaisheshik Shastra also has described the true form of dharma. This means that this is actually helpful for us to achieve both worldly and spiritual progress. There are so many aspects of so many aspects of science as well as non-science has been discussed by Rishi Kanad in this Vaisheshik Shastra. Then comes the Nyaya Shastra. It is authored by Rishi Gautam. The subject of this darshana is actually attaining moksha by attaining philosophical knowledge. There are many objects, or 16 objects he has described in primarily, like proof, evidence, proposition, logic, science of logic, etc. God is the creator of the universe. He is formless. He is omnipresent. Soul is different from God. Body is different from soul. All these are explained, and the Vedic Traitvad is explained in Nyaya Shastra by Rishi Gautam. Then comes the Yoga Shastra, which is very, very famous and we know written by Patanjali Muni around several thousand years back. This book speaks about the sadhana. Basically, it has 4 pada: Samadhi pada, Sadhana pada, Vibhuti pada, and Kaivalya pada. This speaks about the yoga philosophy at length and gives the essence of Ashtanga Yoga taken from Vedas. I have already made one more video in which I have mentioned about the book written by my Guruji on Yoga Shastra, which is an epitome book, and each and every sutra of Yoga Shastra has been explained in practical sense by my Guruji. I would really appreciate if you can order this book from vedmandir.com and try to read this book if you know Hindi. It's really one of the classical book, and it's, I would say, rarest book in this earth. Then comes the Sankhya Shastra written by Kapil Muni. There are many people who have been believing that Sankhya Shastra speaks about atheism. It is absolutely false. Sankhya Shastra speaks about the material cause of this universe, that is called as Prakriti and its products. And Sankhya Shastra also speaks about the God as well as the Jivatma. This Shastra also proves about the existence of Traitvada. Then comes the Vedanta Shastra. Vedanta Shastra is written by Vyas Muni. This does not speak about the Neo Vedanta. Actually, Vedanta means the essence of Vedas. Today's the modern gurus have misinterpreted Vedanta as end portion of Veda. That means where Veda ends, Vedanta starts. This is absolutely false, wrong. Vedanta is speaking about the essence of Vedas, and Vyas Muni has written about the Ishwar, the Brahma, how to attain Brahma, or how to attain salvation, moksha. So this is in short about the 6 Darshana Shastras. Then comes the Upanishads. I have mentioned in previous videos authentic Upanishads. The meaning is Upanishads which are based on Vedas. There are 11 Upanishads which are authentic, which are based on Vedas, written by Rishi Munis again. In some of the Upanishads you can also see Vedic hymns like Isha Upanishad. Almost it's a copy paste of Yajurveda 40th chapter. So these are texts composed again by Rishi Munis. Except for the Vedas, all the other thing which I told earlier is composed by Rishi Munis, written by Rishi Munis. The Upanishads are based on Rig Veda, it is Aitri Upanishad. Based on Yajurveda, it is Taittiriya Upanishad, Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, and Isha Upanishad. Then based on Samaveda, we have Kena Upanishad and Chandogya Upanishad. Then the rest, Katha Upanishad, Prashna Upanishad, Mundaka Upanishad, Mandukya Upanishad, and Shvetashvatara Upanishad is based on Atharva Veda. None of the Upanishad speaks about the Neo Vedanta, which the popular recent Swamijis, so-called self-declared Swamijis, explains about Jivatma is Paramatma. Soul is a part of Almighty God. This is not explained in any of the Upanishads. To know the real meaning of Upanishad, we have to go to the Samadhist Purush who has attained salvation and who has realized Vedas inside him. Then we will understand the real meaning of Upanishad. Then comes the Itihas. You know about Itihas. The epics, which is Ramayana and Mahabharata. both Ram and Krishna are not avatars of God. Avatarvad is not possible. I have already made another video, request you to see in my channel. Avatar, God is formless, Avatarvad is not possible. Both the texts have been written by great rishis. It has been a belief that Valmiki was a thief, and then by chanting Marama, 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 Rama, Rama, he wrote Ramayana. This is all false, absolute. It's not the proof of about life of Valmiki is also mentioned by Valmiki himself in Ramayana, where he says to Sri Ram, even by my mind, by any act, by any deeds, by any even by speaking, I have not done any false or anything which is against the Vedas in this life. This itself proves that Valmiki is a great rishi. And Valmiki is also contemporary of Sri Ram. That means he has seen Sri Ram by his eyes, and he wrote Valmiki Ramayana after seeing Sri Ram. Uttarakhand is not part of Valmiki Ramayana, which is later on added by other people who wrote Ramayana. So we learned of Vedas, only trust the Valmiki Ramayana. And Mahabharat, as you know, the name is not Mahabharat. Its name is called as Jaya. It is written by Vyas Muni. Around 4,400 shlokas he wrote, and under his supervision another 5,600 shlokas have been added. So the Mahabharat, which is authentic, is containing only 10,000 shlokas. Both the texts are fully scientific. There are no unscientific stories available in these two books. Like there are stories shown in television, like from Sri Krishna hands the sari will go and then protect Draupadi. Draupadi had 5 husbands. These things are not part of original Mahabharata. So this is in short about our Vedic culture. There are so many other texts which are written by Rishi Munis which I have not covered here, but all these are authentic texts for us to master Vedic Sanatan Dharma. And once again I am repeating, if we are unable to read these books, it's okay. We have to attain the feet of a master who is realized soul, who has attained Samadhi, and who speaks only Vedas. God himself has told in all the 4 Vedas that only a person who has attained Samadhi, I accept them as Rishi, Muni or Yogi. Rest all, anyone can tell themselves as Yogi. This is all bullshit. Thank you so much. I think I will again come back to you and meet you soon in another video with very vast, very interesting information. Please subscribe my channel. Request you to forward my channel to people who are eager to know about the Vedic Sanatan Dharma. Thank you so much. Namaste. Om.